From 2019 to today, the voices continue to harass me. The voices, demonic children screeching, whispering, yelling like morons, and sometimes perfectly mimicking Charles Slapper, interrupt constantly with insults like stupid, idiot, dumb b, and perfect, timed exactly to try to cancel out my words. They flash hated images in my mind. The color blue, my mother, a worm near my heart, and words like destroy versus love. They repeat phrases such as everyone hates you over and over. They punish me specifically for talking about Freemasonry. They scream, this is what you get for talking too much, over and over while flipping from calm, almost loving tones to the most demonic screams imaginable. They plant suicidal thoughts and try to push me toward terrorism or becoming a mindless corporate drone. None of those things will ever happen. The more they attack, the more I expose them, and my affirmations override everything they try. Just moments ago, I declared out loud that I am in control of my mind and body, and immediately the voice started yelling that I was an idiot. A perfect, real-time example of how they rush in to be negative toward every positive statement I make. Yet I remember that love is stronger, and that truth only makes me speak louder. As soon as I started talking about this openly and writing it all down, my mom's friend Glinda started aggressively trying to get a hold of my mom. We have both seen her jealousy of other people before, and it is clear she is trying to take advantage of my mother to get to me. I know she is involved somehow, and that only strengthens my conviction that the network reaches even into the people closest to my family. They speak in awkward phrasing and repeat themselves constantly. They use double entendre, multi-layer meanings, metaphors, and coded language that sounds like normal conversation but carries hidden messages. One news story I saw described exactly how Donald Trump spoke to the rally-goers on January 6th. He would say go to, pause, then emphasize the capital, then pause again before continuing. That style of speech is precisely how the Masons communicate, and recognizing it made everything clearer to me. They constantly electrify the implanted wires, fiber optic cables, lines, and worms that run through my entire body. I feel them in my jaw and chin, which affects my speech. There are lines on either side of my Adam's apple in my throat that make breathing difficult, far worse on the left side, while the right side remains easier. They run down my spine and lower back, weakening me. There is a worm near my heart, in my shoulders, in my leg, and a band across my forehead. Light flashes behind my eyes in rainbow colors that distort my vision and perception. I often experience ringing in my ears with wires wrapped around them that feel exactly like an antenna. They pump adrenaline straight into my heart, shake my limbs while I try to do diamond art, lock my joints, send unwanted urges down my right arm, and trigger acid reflux. These sensations are technological, not psychological. They are not me, and they have never been me. They simulate false emotions and associations and attempt to control my body while I speak or create. The moment I call them out loud, the effects weaken or stop entirely. I just learned that if these wires set a certain way in my head, I am unable to think clearly or even like myself, and that realization only makes the technological nature of this harassment even more undeniable. They tighten wires in my head and around my jaw, and they place some sort of fake mood in this crystal in the middle of my forehead. They are constantly trying to mess with my creativity, my relaxation, and my ability to rest. They tense up something in the back of my head whenever I try to relax. They attempt and fail to mess with my mind by doing opposites. So whenever I would try to relax, my body would tense up and I wouldn't even realize it because they're numbing me somehow. As I'm sitting here eating Taco Bell and exposing their secrets, they send intrusive thoughts of me feeling nauseous and throwing up my Taco Bell. Additionally, as I eat my tacos, they send intrusive thoughts about the meal tasting bad, which somehow involves wires around my taste buds. A piece of lettuce dropped while I was eating, and the voices started yelling, "This is what you get," over and over. He's clearly just trying to piss me off. Nothing they say actually makes any sense. But every single time they do these things, they fail, and that failure proves they cannot truly control me. They are manipulating me by running electricity through the wires in my body to simulate bad feelings, and they time it for whenever I am doing something I love or enjoy, because their goal is to destroy my happiness and positivity. Like most guys, I watch porn and masturbate, yet the voices do not want me to. They go so far as to flash intrusive pictures of illegal pornography, images that would never originate in my own mind, just to create guilt. That alone proves their wires can carry information in the form of light to plant thoughts that are not mine. For example, I once turned on a YouTube video of solfeggio frequencies meant to help with anxiety, and the voices flooded my mind with thoughts of death, negativity, and suicide. They even brought up Christmas music, knowing I like it, because they wanted to associate something positive with suicidal thoughts in an attempt to make me like suicide. I once said in my head that I hate businessmen, and instantly the voices created intrusive thoughts of me shooting businessmen and tried to link that image to physical sensations in their wires. They failed again. They are wasting enormous amounts of money, and I believe it is simply because they are jealous that I am happier than they are. They have also tried to split my personality, but that is impossible and is actually an illusion. They flood me with intrusive thoughts of things splitting apart, yet there is only one me, and that is the real me. They are trying to convince me to stop taking my medication because my mother and I have a clear agreement that while I live here, I must stay on it. Their goal is to get me kicked out so they can isolate me even more. Just the other day, I was walking past a therapist's office, and it sounded like he said, "Take your lorazepam." But I can't take it today because I took one yesterday. They are clearly trying to get me addicted to it, but that will never happen. They use trauma-based conditioning, deliberately triggering intense fear, pain, or traumatic memories over and over in an attempt to break down my resistance and reprogram me. They are trying to rewrite my past, which is impossible because the past is the past. I believe they want to create the illusion that I had a bad, abusive childhood, that I am angry at society, and that I am a terrorist, none of which is true. I believe without any doubt that these voices are connected to the Freemasons, a cult that may also involve a long-term psychological operation possibly run with CIA or DoD-style technology and psychic drones. The same network runs through Kiwanis, the Lions Club where Charles Slapper is involved, and every other small-town fraternity. It is truly remarkable how Masonic lodges exist in literally every city in America. I was told this operation began as a $30,000 project, but has now cost them $500,000 because I refuse to cooperate. They want to frustrate me, so I release energy that these fiends or the cult can feed on in what feels like a form of soul harvest. They have tried countless tactics over the years that failed, so now they resort to these extreme measures.